These are pretty hideous. I don't think any of these would be acceptable at any yum cha house. These kind of look like flattened poop attempting to be wrapped in rice noodle rolls. That was not my intention! Welcome to my first time. In this series, I walk you through the steps of how to make a recipe that I've never made before, so I have no idea if I'm going to succeed or not, and hopefully you'll be rooting me on. So will I succeed or will I fail? Well, stay tuned and see. In today's episode, I'll be trying my hand at making Chee Fen, or Cantonese rice noodle rolls. There are many different types of rice noodle rolls, and you can oftentimes find them at yum cha or dim sum houses in Chinatowns and of course across China and Asia. You can find fillings such as prawn, char siu, which is barbecued pork, and my ultimate favorite, which is beef. So there are three different parts to making chang fen, as we call them in Mandarin. So of course there's going to be the base, which is a rice noodle roll that's going to be steamed. Secondly is going to be the filling. In this episode we're going to be doing beef, so there's a beef filling. And then thirdly there's a sauce that you pour over it. So for the rice noodle roll base, I know this looks like just a bunch of white stuff in a bowl. This is about 1.5 cups of regular rice flour. I like to buy the Thailand brand, which is Erewhon. It's very commonly found in Asian supermarkets. We have 1/4 cup of tapioca starch, as well as another 1/4 cup of cornstarch or corn flour. Then for a little bit of flavoring for the rice flour, we have about 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, as well as 1 tablespoon of oil just to get us a little bit greased and going. And then the water, which is going to create the batter. We have 2 cups of boiling water and then 2 cups of room temperature water. And for our second component, the beef, we have 1 pound of minced beef. This is actually Wagyu beef that I got from Costco. Wagyu beef. Then for flavorings for the minced beef, we also have 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, just a little bit of a thickener, 4 teaspoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, that's gonna help with tenderizing the meat, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, as well as about 3 to 4 tablespoons of water, just to create a bit of a meat paste. Then lastly, for the sauce that's going to be drizzled on top of the rice noodle rolls when they're ready to eat, it's going to be a bit of a sweet, savory umami sauce. So that is going to consist of 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 3 tablespoons of light soy sauce, about 2 teaspoons of chicken stock, about 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1 cup of hot water. So now that we've got all of our ingredients down, we're going to first start on marinating the meat. So we're gonna take all those meat flavorings, dump this into this bowl, and just mix it all up until it's nice and mushy and pasty. You might wanna add a couple of tablespoons more of water, just because you wanna have this nice sort of pasty texture that we've got here. So after a bit of whisking, the batter should be nice and thin, kind of like this. So now the rice batter as well as the minced meat filling is ready. So we just need to let both of them rest. So the beef is now marinating in the fridge, and this rice batter is going to rest at room temperature for at least the next hour. The reason for that is you want to let the batter rest, otherwise it could result in cracks when we finally steam this stuff. So I'll see you in an hour. Okay peeps, it's been about an hour and we've allowed our batter to rest and our meat to marinate. So we're gonna move over to our stove. And so what I said earlier about the Chee Fen is that they are traditionally steamed. We don't really have a rice noodle roll steamer, but I'm gonna show you a way to do it over the stove in a little flat saute pan. We're gonna do like a pseudo steam. I've got everything all ready. I've got my pan, I've got a little bit of oil in it. I also have the marinated beef sitting on the side, as well as the rice batter right there. So we're gonna get to steaming and cooking these rice noodle rolls. Take about 1/3 cup and then put it on the pan. I will swivel it around just a little bit. Now we're going to cover it, put it on low. So you know it's ready when it starts bubbling kind of like this. So at that point, we're gonna attempt to neatly put some meat on. We just like a couple tablespoons in an attempt to flatten it without destroying the noodle. This is why it's supposed to be a paste. And now we steam it for about 4 to 5 minutes to allow the meat to cook. Okay, time to check. Whoa, look at that. To lower the heat to simmer, and now what I'm gonna attempt to do with my spatula is I'm gonna attempt to fold it and hopefully not break the noodle. Almost. Okay, that's one roll. Now another. Oh yeah. That's pretty decent for the first one. Now I roll it on to a cookie sheet and do all the other ones. Let's hope it's a good one. Whoa, this is a beautiful one. Now, flop on this. Another piece. And then smear it on nice and flat. Now put it on simmer. Steam for 4 to 5 minutes. Ooh, look at all those meat juices. Try to flip. Ah! Oh no, this one broke. Oh no. Wish me luck. Aww. This is my first time, so gotta go easy on me. I'm trying to figure out how to fix this. You have to help me. I don't know if I can do this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh, so that was definitely an adventure making these cheong fen or beef rice noodle rolls. Not all of them came out looking pretty, but the good news is at least it'll taste good. So I haven't forgotten about the dipping sauce. So I've already poured some on top of the rice noodle rolls. And then on top of that, I've also clipped them. So when you usually have yum cha or go to dim sum houses, they'll usually clip each of the rice noodle rolls into bite-sized pieces. That way it's easier to share and you don't have to worry about fighting over the last rice noodle roll. So now we're gonna take a taste. Is this gonna be tasty or is it gonna taste like crap? So here goes. Mmm. Mmm. This is so good! The rice noodles are super nice and thick and silky in the mouth and have nice chewiness. And the beef is just so luxurious. And the sauce that we drizzled on top just really makes all the noodles and the meat come together into the perfect cheong fen. So as you saw, they clearly did not all turn out as perfectly. We had to do some trial and error in terms of the amount of batter, as well as the amount of meat that we put into each of the rolls. Some of the things we learned over trial and error during my first time making beef rice noodle rolls. 1, we increased the rice flour batter to 1/2 cup per noodle roll to allow for a thicker noodle. This made it easier to roll the noodle over. 2, we reduced the amount of minced meat filling to about 2 to 3 teaspoons and placed it in the center of the noodle roll. This also allowed for easier noodle flipping. Ugh, thank God. These are all the things we learned when it's our first time. So that wraps up another episode of My First Time. I hope you found this entertaining and I hope this serves to inspire you to make your own cheong fen at home. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear what your favorite dim sum dish is. Please remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get immediate notifications as soon as I upload my next video. Live yummy!